Hey guys, Sid from Sid's Trains here, and today we're going to be checking out this little engine I have here. This is a Lionel USRA 080 switcher in a Chesapeake and Ohio paint scheme. So recently I picked up this little 080 switcher, and for a really long time I really wanted a command controlled switcher for the layout. Whether it was steam or diesel, I didn't really care. I was leaning towards the steam side, but I do like NW2 switchers and of course steam switchers, so I was fine with either or. But I wanted one that had cruise control and had operating couplers on both ends, and this engine fit that description, and it's in one of my favorite paint schemes, the Chesapeake and Ohio Railroad. And you might think, well, Sid, don't you already have a steam switcher? Well, yes, I do have a Lionel B6 switcher. However, that is not command control, it is conventional. And I've shown it in some of my old running videos, but since it's not command control, it's harder to control, and because of that I don't run it as much as a steam switcher. I just run it as a mainline engine, which at times can seem a little silly, but it's still a fun little engine. But I wanted something I could control with a DCS or legacy remote, and I also had shown on my channel a MTH B6 switcher in a little short that I did, and that engine did belong to me for a little bit of time, but I just wasn't really happy with it. The detailing wasn't that amazing on it because it was a Rail King engine, and also it just didn't have the sounds that I really wanted out of an engine. So I decided I would sell that and instead get a Lionel 080 because I love these little engines. They pack so much quality, detailing, and sounds and control into these engines, and yet they're so short. Look at this thing. It is super tiny. And that's just what makes it so cool. It's this small little... The USRA 080 was a standard class steam engine designed under the control of the United States Railroad Administration. And it was the nationalized railroad system in America during World War I. And the 080 was a heavy class steam switcher. And the whole point of the USRA was to just have a standardized set of engines for America at the time. So overall, this is a really nice engine with its detailing and quality. Lots of separately applied detailing, including the whistle, the bell, the dynamo, the pop-off valve, separately applied handrails, a lot of separately applied detailing and piping on the side of the engine. It looks really nice. On top of the cab, there's a cool molded-in vent that is open on the fireman's side, which is kind of different from other engines. And then moving back to the tender, there are some nice separately applied handrails and ladders, and a opening hatch on top of the tender. And when you open that hatch, it exposes the volume control and some switches for the sounds in this engine. So overall, a really nice model, and they packed a lot of detailing into such a small engine, which is really cool to see. So one thing I'd like to talk about before running this engine around is why I got the engine. I talked about wanting a steam switcher, but in most cases, people that are just running model trains don't buy little steam engines to do switching operations. They buy them to just run on the main line. However, I didn't buy this thing to run on the main line. I bought it because I wanted to do switching operations with it. I designed my layout with yards and sidings in mind because I knew I was going to want to do some switching operations. Are they the most realistic switching operations in the world? No. I am not a super realistic operator. I don't operate my trains in a super realistic way. However, I just want to have fun. That's what this hobby is about. You want to just have fun and have a good time when you're in your train room. This hobby is a way for me and many others to just get away from life and just have fun. And that is why I like to do switching operations. It's more fun than just running trains in circles. You put together a train, then you run it in circles, and then you take it back apart, and then that's one operating session. And you can then do it over and over again as many times as you would like. And this engine is really good at doing switching operations because in a few minutes you will see that it's a very slow engine. It was designed with a gear ratio that was made for the engine to go slowly and pull a decent amount of freight cars. In the title and thumbnail of this video, I called this thing a yard goat. These switchers were given the nickname yard goat because they were just kept in the yards and just could pull a bunch of freight cars, and they did it really well, so they called them and nicknamed them yard goats, which is just kind of cool and a little funny name, but they're really nice engines for doing switching operations, and because they're so small, they don't take up a lot of space, and I just think it's such an awesome looking engine. It's so small, the engine and tender are about the same size. All that detailing I talked about before is packed into such a small area, and in my case, I like to do switching operations, so it's a perfect engine for what I needed, and that is why I got this engine. So now let's run the engine around for a little and just see what it can do. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video so far, and I hope you guys enjoy the running session. As always, like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. Comment below and tell others about the channel. I'm Sid, and I'll see you next time, guys. Let's go run this engine around for a while. I got my Cab 2 remote here with the engine programmed into it, and let's listen to some of the sounds before I do some switching operations. So let me start it up here. So first off, let's listen to the whistle. It has a really nice whistle. It's high-pitched, and but not too high-pitched. It's still kind of deep and throaty, but it still has a slightly higher tone to it, which is really cool. And as you can probably see, the smoke is turned on. It's a really good smoke unit for such a small little engine. Here's the bell. And then the thing has the normal crew talk sounds from this era from Lionel.
Nino 75, you are clear through the yard.
The smoke's getting in the way of the camera shot. This thing smokes really well, so we've been given the all clear, so let's go do some switching operations. And as you can see, it runs really well, and it even has 4 chuffs.